I wanted to give you an update on how I feel about chisels, because I'm still in the democratized mode. I want chisels that people can afford, not fancy chisels. And you know, sometimes you can spend £120 on one chisel. But I've been using these chisels now for a few years. I switched. You might remember in the past I've always said, well, buy Aldi chisels or Lidl chisels because they were so well made at the time. They did have a home beam handle like these do, and they did have very good quality steel where the tool itself took a good edge and it retained a good edge. So you weren't always running back to your oil stones or sharpening stones, diamond plates or whatever. So what I've done is I've ended up with this set here. This is a set made by a company in Germany called MHG. And I've been using this particular set for 10 years and I can't fault them. And what I've ended up with is a democratized chisel. It's something that every ordinary working person could buy 4 or 5 chisels and get on with woodworking in the day-to-day, and they would polish out nicely just by using them, and they would last you a lifetime. So where did I end up with the sizing, handle, comfort, and so on? I did do a little bit of refining on the handles because I was going to use them long term, and you may as well get into this early on, because if you do, you're going to find your hands are going to mold the shape of your chisels as you go, but you can take off any hard corners, and even on the steel itself, you can do the same with a little bit of emery paper, a little bit of polishing compound and so on. That will get you a nice chisel. So one of the things I wanted to do was to present a chisel that was available. So these are available internationally. Now, what sizes do you need? The size is kind of complex, really, because I live in Britain, and Britain is part of Europe, and Europeans tend to use metric. And actually, if you think about it, there are only 3 countries in the whole wide world that uses imperial, and that's that I still use imperial because part of my audience is in a country that uses imperial. So America uses imperial, Liberia uses imperial, Myanmar uses imperial, but those are the only 3 countries in the world that rely on imperial as the day-to-day measurement in a lot of what they do. That does not mean that they don't use metric, and that's the truth of it. So we live in a world that now has adopted millimeters, fractions of millimeters, fractions of meters, and kilometers, and so on in the day-to-day. So I've got a 1-inch chisel that's not 1 inch. I've got a 3/4 inch that's not 3/4, a 5/8, a 1/2 inch, 3/8, 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, and 1/16 of an inch. And none of them are actually those measurements. They're slightly over, they're slightly under, but they work because we generally take a gauge, a mortise gauge like this one here. And when we're working with whatever chisel, we set these 2 pins to the chisel we're going to use. In times past, blacksmiths made 1/2 inch chisels, and they were never 1/2 inch. They were whatever the blacksmith hammered, boom, 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 gave the shape to, and when he was done, it could be 1 millimeter over or 1 millimeter over, and that was the size. So we set the mortise gauge to the particular chisel and made the mortise to that particular chisel size as well. So that's times past. Today we want maybe something that's more determinate, and so we tend to go with metric, because 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, you can go on all the way up. How many chisels do you need? Well, I separated these out because I think that you need a 1 inch or something similar. So this one is actually 26 millimeters, which is just over 1 inch. This is 20 millimeters, which is just over 3/4 of an inch, 5/8, and then 1/2 inch, but this is 12 millimeters, which is less than 1/2 inch. So, but I still use those in my day-to-day, and I can live with that. I'm not that pernickety. These then go into the 3/8 chisel. I've got a 1/4 inch, and I've got a 1/8 inch and a 1/16 chisel. And that's because when I chop a mortise, say with a 1/4 inch chisel, I use a smaller chisel to clean out the waste wood, just because it's practical. And so these sizes give me a little bit more versatility. If I wanted a 5/16 mortise, I would probably just use my 1/4 inch and then pair cut the extra width that I need, so I can work this either side of the mortise. It works fine for me, it might not work for you. But what I wanted was something that was inexpensive, and that's what I have got here, really. So with these 8 chisels, I've got everything I need. Do you need the 1/16 chisel? Probably not. I do use it from time to time, but I don't specifically need it for any particular function. It's just nice to have. So let's take that. So with 7 chisels, you can get everything that you need. And why do I go with bevel edge chisels? I found that mortise chisels and heavier registered pattern chisels and so on are just too heavy. So you get this hammer and chisel effect. If the chisel is heavy, you need a bigger hammer. You need a bigger mallet if you're using a mallet. I probably will not use a mallet again in my life because I like something that gives me a very direct center of percussion. So I use this Thorex 712, which gives me exactly what I need. Hard plastic one side, softer plastic the other. Very direct center of percussion. That's perfect for chisel work. So I use that, and this hammer will never damage my chisels. What are the features of this? I've got a very clear bolster here. If I took this apart, took the chisel out, the tang is really massive inside there. And when this ferrule goes on, it's super tight, and it drives onto there and it keeps everything tight. I've never known one of these chisels turn loose of anything. They've never come loose. And these are hornbeam handles, and a hornbeam handle will very, very rarely break. And I have never broken a chisel, split a hornbeam chisel hammer handle. So that's why I've gone for these chisels. The shape is nice. They don't roll off the bench. They can, but they have a little bit of a flat that's not really noticeable when you're working with it. But what I like about it, it has a flat on both sides. So when you're lining your chisel, you have your thumb, and that gives you a 90-degree leveling ability. So if I'm switched this way, put my thumb on it, it helps me to guide and steer the chisel. The bolster, the tang, everything about it. I like the thinness of it. It's not one of these wimpy, super thin. These very side pieces don't need to be super fine. They usually cut your fingers if they are too fine. I found that with some of the premium chisels. So I like the side to have a good 1/16 by the chisel tip. That's plenty of steel I need. And of course it tapers. These are very nice. They feel smooth. They're thin, lightweight. I think probably these are the best balanced chisels I've ever had, and I love them. So I'm 76 years old, and I've been using chisels for 61 years, and I think I would never switch to any other chisel other than this one. That's how good I feel about it. And one thing I want to say is, the only reason I'm recommending these is because they're affordable. They're good chisels, good steel, good wood, and that's really all I want. I don't take any kickbacks. I don't take any sponsorship. I've never been in touch with MHG as far as I know. They've never offered me anything, and I don't blame them. I think that's good that they don't, because I have the freedom to tell you exactly what I feel about these chisels. And I have used every other type of chisel I can think of. And I've always come back to these. These are my everyday working chisels. That's all I'm going to give you on this. It's perfect. These are good chisels.